Avdija beats on the track.
All right, we back. Going into halftime, we got Washington 51, Lakers 56. What's some other, what other game is we was watching? Hawks, yeah.
Atlanta 63, Philadelphia 91. So blow.
Update the rest of the scores before we move on.
Halftime, Charlotte 47, Boston 58. Chicago halftime 48, New York 52. In the second quarter, San Antonio 32 and Miami 35. They caught up.
They score pretty quick. They score pretty quick.
Catch up quick.
All right, so moving on to our next section. We'll update you on some scores throughout the night. Moving on to our next section, what we wanted to talk about was pick'ems from last week. Every Tuesday we pick games. We look for to see who win and lose for the record. So far, I've been leading. I've been up like 11-7. I had 11-7.
11-5.
11-5.
9-7.
9-7. So we're gonna see how we did from last week. Yesterday's games. Carl's gonna list them off and let us know what's popping.
All right. So yesterday's Boston. Boston was playing. Let me go back to it. So Boston lost the game against New Orleans. So both of us picked Boston.
Mm-hmm.
So both of us lost that.
Take that L on that
Take
one.
Take that L. Then we had the Bucks in Charlotte. Charlotte lost that game. Bucks won that one. I picked Bucks.
Of course, y'all know I picked my LaBello ball, Charlotte Hornets.
And then we had Portland versus Indiana. Both of us picked Portland, so we won that one. Then we had Brooklyn and Toronto. Both of us picked Brooklyn. Then we had Houston, Minnesota. I picked Houston. Snuff picked Minnesota. Minnesota won.
Minnesota is trending upward. They're not nowhere close to no type of playoffs, but they trending upward. So that's a hard pick not to make.
Wall.
That's a hard pick not to make.
Wall didn't play, so I feel. That's how I feel. Then we got Golden State and Mars.
Mars washed down. Who you pick?
Pick Golden State, man.
Oh, I picked the Mars.
You picked the Mars.
Wow, I surprised. That was before Curry lose to Westbrook team. So I'm surprised, but yeah, bro. So what the records is for the...
So last Tuesday record, Snuff 4-2, I 3-3. So in total we have
11-7.
Yeah, you 15-7.
Gee,
15-7, and I'm 12-10. So that's how it is. 15-7 and 12-10.
All right, let's get our picks in for next week real quick.
Next week, all right, let's put it up.
So what we're doing is every Tuesday we picking some games. These games are really, really important now because a lot of these teams fighting for seeding, especially with the play-in tournament. So we got 4 teams from 7 through 10 trying to make it in. So every game matters. This is a big time. So next week, I think we'll be heading down to like the last 7 games of the season. So who we got? How much games we got?
Next week, Tuesday, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games.
Every week is just more and more.
Yeah, the sponsors like 5, then a 6, not 7.
And you wonder why players getting injured. So
close to the playoff. All right, so we got Phoenix and Cleveland.
Don't ask. Let's move on.
Oh, not a pen won't work. Oh, okay. Both of us go with Phoenix. Then we have Charlotte and Detroit.
I'm always going with Charlotte.
Real. Then we have Brooklyn and Milwaukee. Big game. That's a big game. I going Milwaukee.
Alright, just because I'm gonna go with Brooklyn. I was thinking about going with Milwaukee.
Yeah,
I was thinking about going with Milwaukee, but I would go with Brooklyn.
All right. Then we got Dallas and Miami. No, I ain't going with.
Alright, give me Dallas. I'm glad that's Miami. Give me Dallas.
Then we have Golden State, New Orleans. To me, that's a tough one. I don't want to go.
Give me Golden State.
Okay, I'll go with New Orleans because you get it.
Yeah. Give me Golden State.
Golden State.
That's a team they gotta beat, you know, to keep
That's
it
a
to stay in the play-in.
play. And then New Orleans got a minute try getting the play-in.
So I think that's they 10-11 right now. So I think that's a big game. So that could change in the next by the time next week Tuesday come, but that's a big game as of right now.
Sacramento, OKC.
I gotta pick Buddy. Just you know what I'm saying, like that game to me that's a game that don't matter.
Right,
I go with Buddy.
All right, I go with OKC. Then we
OKC just beat the Celtics.
Right,
so,
they cost us. We got Toronto and LA Clippers. I ain't going with the Clips, bro.
Give me Toronto then. Toronto's been playing some good basketball, so I don't feel bad picking them. Give me Toronto.
All right. So for those who's listening, H-Town. Okay, Brent, that's a Houston boy there. So for those who listening, we got Phoenix. Both of us picked Phoenix against Cleveland. Both of us picked Charlotte against Detroit. I picked Milwaukee. You picked Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Then
big game.
That's a big game. Then you got Miami and Dallas. You got Dallas. I got Miami.
That's another important game on both sides of the conference.
Right. Then we got New Orleans. You got the Pelicans and the Warriors.
Another big game.
You got Warriors. I got the Pelicans. OKC, Sacramento.
Not really that
That's
important about that game, but you know it's gonna matter between our seed.
Right.
That's our seed.
Then we got Toronto and Clippers.
Toronto fighting to make the play-in, so I feel like they still gotta win some games. And then the Clippers fighting to be like 2 seed or even 1 seed, so that's still possible for them. So 2 of the teams got a lot to play for.
Yeah.
Now it's just who hungrier. Now you know it's gonna be interesting about these picks too. I probably should have said this before we picked.
Mm-hmm.
The season winding down. The teams that in first, second, third, they might start thinking about resting. You know what I'm saying?
So
you got
like with two more weeks.
only like after tonight, it'd be like a lot of teams have like 10, 11 games left.
Yeah.
So like that's going
games,
so like 4 more games left after next week.
Yeah.
So that's an important thing to look out for. I don't even know if we'll be able to do this next week.
Okay, I can check right now. Let me see. If we could pull up that far.
What date is that?
Next week is the 4th for us.
Mm.
So if we go next week, Monday would be the 11th. I mean, next week Tuesday, sorry, would be the 11th. We got games. That can help us.
All right. That's probably going to decide everything. That's a much.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games.
And
odd numbers too. So
that can decide everything. That can decide everything right there.
Boy.
That would be mine. That would be bugging if you get a big comeback in the last week. Like I up about. How much you up now?
I got
12.
I got 12 games. You
Yeah.
got 15.
And I ain't lucky not come back on.
But like you say.
All right, but just for the record now, 15-7, 12 and 10. We have 2 more weeks to go. I think that's about 7 plus 11, 18 more games. So we're gonna figure out who's gonna be good at assessing these wins.
Yeah, we got 2 weeks left.
But moving on to our next topic, this is really, really sad to talk about.
Injuries again.
I'm gonna let this run inside the background or whatever. I can cut this out. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna cut this off. I'm gonna talk. It's been really, really sad to watch in the past 4 weeks. Every player after player, top players, rookies, bench players, role players, everybody getting injured. And the most common injury we keep seeing is
the legs.
The legs, most and even more so the ankle. Especially the past 2 weeks, the ankle. A lot of people stepping on somebody's leg. A lot of people landing bad. And I think this week we got 2 of the most horrible injuries. I was gonna say this season in terms of ankle, but like in a long time. Like the last time someone had a leg injury this bad, I'm thinking Paul George. I'm thinking Gordon Hayward. Oladipo.
Yeah.
Like these are those type of serious injuries. But we can start off with Cannady. Devin Cannady from the Orlando Magic. That's a rookie. I got it running on the screen. I think the play just started over. This is really, really hard for me to watch. As an athletic trainer, for me, I've always told people the hardest part about my job is seeing gruesome injuries and reacting to that. It's one thing to deal with a pulled hamstring, a little bruise, even a dislocation or a broken bone is cool. But when you get open fractures, and that's what Cannady suffered on his right leg, an open fracture of the lateral malleolus. Oh, there's a dislocated ankle, but he had an open fracture on the lateral malleolus side. If you're not sure, that is an open fracture is when you crack the leg and then it breaks the skin. So if you watch the play real close and you do a little close-up, you could even see the blood draining from his leg, on his socks, on the ground. Very, 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 very gruesome. What I wanted to talk about real quick is what happened during the play. So as soon as the play happened, he went for the block. When he was landing, he landed on the guy's leg, landed on his toe, externally rotated it, and went all the pressure down on it. The screams was horrible. You could hear him screaming over the mics. I think it was Mo Bamba realized it was horrible. As soon as it happened, he took his jersey off just to cover it up. It was normally inside major sports. They don't like to have those things on TV. So shout out Mo Bamba for having the sense of mind to cover it up. But what he didn't do was put his jersey full on the guy's leg, contamination, all that stuff. So I think Mo Bamba was really smart about what he was doing. Then you see the doctors come out. The first thing they wanted to do was say, hey, he's bleeding. We got to stop the bleeding. So normally you wouldn't wrap a leg first with some gauze or a wrap or anything like that. But the reason you see them wrap his leg first, we want to stop the bleeding first. After they stop the bleeding, then they bring out a air split. That's where you put like a split where it's soft at first. You put it on the leg. Then you suck the air out. And then it forms around the leg to keep the joints in place. So with a fracture of that type of nature, you don't want to, when you're moving him or trying to take him back to the room, you don't want a bunch of movement to cause more damage. So the doctors had one of those air splints. I think that's one of the most innovative tools out in the medical world where they figured out, hey, let's lock this down, suck all the air out, just like how you know them vacuum seal bags with your clothes.
Right.
Same type of idea. Vacuum seal it, lock it up. So 100% he's definitely out for the season. Yeah. Definitely, he probably went into surgery today. That was an automatic. You have to go into surgery. So some of the things you want to worry about is the tendons in the area. We talked about ankle injuries before, so you want to talk about the tendons in the area. You want to make sure the fractures inside the tibia or the malleolus are not too bad. If so, you want to correct those issues. Make sure no bones flying around all over the place. But as a pretty serious injury, something that you definitely could come back from, but something that you never want to see on the court.
But what I like too, what I was reading up, they said he had no ligament damage, so that's a good thing.
That's a really, really good thing. But I still would be scared about bone damage and fragments. So I'll be scared about bone fragments. So even though you don't damage no ligaments, the tibia and the talus and the malleolus might have connected and caused some little fragments break. And that's some of the things you want to worry about. So especially in the healing process, you don't want no little fragments floating around in that area. So in a similar instance, we have Deni Avdija from the Washington Wizards. You can see it right here. Let me cut the sound off again so I can talk about it. I said Deni Avdija from the Washington Wizards. He suffered a similar injury to Gordon Hayward. Now, Gordon Hayward totally fractured his whole leg when he had that fall for the Boston Celtics. First played the game that year. I think it was 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, time flies with COVID. But crazy. But so what he did was he's another player. He, as you can see, going up for the play, he came down awkwardly on his right leg. And then trying to save himself from the awkward fall, he get caught up with another player with his left leg. So he stepped on two players. The most scary thing with basketball is stepping on players' legs. And these are things that we can attribute to multiple games and all that. Not just stuff that happened within the game.
Big accident.
So with him now, he got his leg caught up behind him. So imagine now his leg is behind his hip, caught in a bad position, the toes and hit at the floor first. So now the leg is inverted, so it's turned a little bit, rotated a little bit, and now he's falling backward, putting all the load on that leg. You could even see in the play, as soon as he got fully on the ground, the leg pops by the back out, as you can see all the pressure holding the ankle inward, and it pops back out. That is a fracture in the leg. Now, not as serious as going here where he had a full-on bone fracture of the two bones, but it was a fracture enough that definitely, again, he out for the season. He might be out for the beginning of the next season. Again, it's something that you're definitely going to recover from past history. This is something that a lot of people recover from very not quickly, but recover from with full strength. But it's another one of those caught in a bad position, fall on it, and it's all about landing. So like we've seen with a lot of these ankle injuries, especially this week, it's landing. You know, going up for awkward plays with players close by, going for blocks, or someone coming to block you.
Or you just land. Don't even try to do that.
Yeah, and then the person land on you. I think a lot of that happened last week with Donovan Mitchell. So a lot of these ankle injuries. I think like some of these things you can't avoid, but I think ankle injury is the most common thing in basketball. But the weirdest thing is just seeing it repeatedly every week now. Yeah. So I think that's a scary part of it. But I want you to know these are the two worst ankle injuries you can see in basketball. So that's not very, very common. I don't think we've seen that in a long time. But I hope these guys recover fast. I love me some Deni Avdija. I'm not really too familiar with Devin Cannady.
Right, because he was between the G League and so he just came up.
Right. But it's always sad to see guys who provide for their families, especially young players who trying to make a name for themselves, get their contract and their money and endorsements together, have such serious injuries. But I will say it's better to have it early in career while you're young and heal faster than later in your career when you have difficulties as older age causing you to heal.
That's a pro and a con though.
No, why you say that?
Because now if he's Deni on his rookie contract.
Right. So he's straight.
No, he ain't straight. Because he ain't get that money yet. He on a rookie contract. So now they may be a little hesitant. I'll give you that money.
Right. So your rehab got to be strong.
Right.
Your attitude got to be strong.
So
and even with Cannady, you're coming out of the G League.
That's even worse. Yeah.
So I feel like with Deni, you want to give him at least the full length of his contract to see what he's about. Cannady, send him back to the G League. And that's the sad thing about it. So it's just rough to watch. Injuries are like the worst part of sports.
But I feel that I see a lot of players too now. They're taking off like a year. So even like just say now this happened, you might even see them next year.
Yeah.
So you might see them 2023.
And again, I think I said this maybe 2 weeks ago. We was talking about this. And that it's just like because you're seeing other players go through it. You're seeing players get injured, come back and get injured again.
Yeah.
You're seeing some players come back and they never the same. I think agents, players, and even the families and the teams are saying, hey, these young guys, no problem waiting. You see him with LeBron, Chris Paul, Carmelo, Dwight Howard. Dudes getting older in their career. Ain't no point in rushing these dudes to get them back. I won't get them back perfect so I get the value for my money. Same thing with the players and the agents. I will get the most money for my value.
Right. So no need to rush.
No need to rush. Especially with young players. So like I'm happy to see that as young players, like some older players might end their career. Injuries like that can end some careers. But it's good to see that these young players, and I can obviously see them bouncing back from this. So prayers up for those two guys, Devin Cannady, Deni Avdija, two rookies in the NBA right now. So moving on to our next section. Our next section, we have a few questions. I'm going to let Carl run off some of the questions. We have a few questions just talking about the impact of the basketball season as an entirety as we winding down right now. Some things that some players that we were looking at the beginning, how they looking at the end, how some players looking at the end versus the beginning. We're going to let Carl run through all of those.
All right, so we had this segment is called "This How It Turned Out." So the first question in this one is, which player started out the season on a high and they digress? Who would you say is a player that started off high? My pick, I'll go with, injury is kind of cost it, but I'll still, no. He doesn't even have, I'll go with, from Detroit, Jeremy Grant. He started off, we had him All-Star and Most Improved. We had him like on some we had him on the radar on a lot of awards. But right now it's like he's just gone downhill.
Yeah, his averages dropped a little bit. The team started losing a little bit more. I think when we was having all those conversations about him, they was like, fighting for that top 10 seed type of thing.
Yeah.
So it fell off a little bit after the All-Star break, definitely. So I can like that pick. I like that pick. For me, I had Damian Lillard. I feel like Damian Lillard started off the year hot. Remember, C.J. McCollum got injured, Nurkic got injured. And Damian Lillard was on a run. They was like third, fourth seed for the beginning part of the year. But when the dudes started coming back, they made that trade. Seemed like Damian Lillard took a little step back. They started losing some more games. He wasn't having all them game winners. Like, they was losing close games that they were winning early in the season. And not to say they fell out of the playoff position, but right now they fighting to make sure they ain't in the play-in tournament. Right now they in 7th. So I would say Damian Lillard has dropped his play a little bit, and it's even more so because you see dudes coming back. Maybe that's adjustments on playing with each other and meshing together. But dudes are coming back and they fell off a little bit. So to me, I had Damian Lillard for that spot for me.
You feel too Lillard might be seasoned now, or say a veteran, knowing that it's coming down to the playoff.
So
I was
thinking it could be two-part. It could be two-part. I'm thinking it might be that. It might be that, hey, I don't want to burn out in the playoffs, so we shut it down. Or it could be he burned out at the beginning of the year trying to hold the team together.
Then be burned out.
So it's like we going to have to wait to see how he responds when the playoffs start. I could see them, if they secure themselves in a good position, like 6th seed, and they get to like next week, 3-4 games left, and that's the problem. If they could secure their seed, he would need some rest. The problem is, I don't know if they could secure their seed.
Boy.
So that's going to be a rough one. But I like Damian Lillard for that pick.
And even in my pick, you think the trade or the buyout of Griffin?
Oh, you mean Blake Griffin?
Yeah, because Blake was on the court. He might not be producing,
right?
But it still might have give him
a little bit more to do more,
right?
To do more, yeah. The attention that Blake would have to deserve at least at his age.
And give him that time to float.
Man, it might be that. It might be that too. Yeah. It might be that too. But and as well as we get a later part of the season, it's less likely to talk about teams that ain't even doing much.
That's true.
So you know what I'm saying. So in the media world, you might not see him as much. Because you might hear about him more when it comes to All-Star, like, who we should get, who the players is we ain't looking at. Now it's like, you're not even in the playoff run. No one talking about you no more. So I think it's part of that. Do you think he still can win Most Improved Player, or you think Julius Randle run away with that? Anybody else you might have been thinking about Most Improved Player out of those two? Zach LaVine. And Zach LaVine is a candidate for this question as well. Yeah. Boy. But I feel like they still fighting to be in the playoff type of run, so I don't want to kill him too much for it.
Everybody, like all the Most Improved, they out the bubble. I mean, they out the playoff.
They out the playoffs. They in the play-in.
Except for Randle. Randle probably be the only one who.
Yeah. I think that might cause him to get the Most Improved. Yeah. All right, what's the next question?
Next question: which player started out the season on a low and has progressed?
Alright, I had a couple of names here, but I give my one. I want to say my one for sure. I have to give 2. My 2 for sure have to be Steph Curry and Westbrook. I feel like this past month or past 6 weeks, those 2 players have taken their teams from not making the play-in tournament to now we in the play-in tournament. High level play, breaking records. Steph Curry break the 3-point record for the month. Westbrook break the triple-double record for the month. As 2 veterans who know at the end of the season we got to turn it on. It's nothing you can't say about those 2 to say, hey, yeah. I've always told people when you have superstars, they can will their teams into the playoffs. We're watching 2 superstars will their teams to the playoffs. I definitely have to put those 2. But Luka was a close one for me too.
All right. Westbrook was my straight off the bat first person I thought about. Because I remember even us, we was on here talking about who won the trade between Houston, because Houston was doing so good.
That was only about probably 6-7 weeks ago.
Right, it was like, who won the trade? Because Westbrook wasn't even, but now he's turning it around. He's learned the system or how to play with these guys now, and it's becoming easier for him.
And they learn how to play with him too. You got to match his energy.
Yeah, so it's becoming easier for them now, and I
And you know what I like about Westbrook too? He's up there scoring since All-Star break, but not like, oh, I gone from 21 points to 30 points. He gone from 21 points to 23 points. But he's up his assists, he's up his rebounds. I like that. So he's getting a full, complete game. And if you listen to him, he up his defense. In his opinion, he locked down Steph Curry. I'm finna say he locked down Steph Curry. But in his opinion, he feel like he locked down Steph Curry, hold him to 18 points when Steph Curry's averaging 40 for the month. So, gotta give him that. So who you say you had Westbrook outright?
Yeah.
Who else you was thinking about?
Nobody really like to say. Like when I thought about the question, my first thing and the only person going on was Westbrook.
Yeah. He turned super on.
Like,
yeah.
So I didn't really think about nobody else to say who could compete with him with that. And then the next question: which player kept it consistent for the season from then to now, from beginning to now?
You go first.
I was saying Zion.
Good pick.
Yeah, because Zion has been doing 20, 26, 27, 10. You know, he's been doing a straight
consistent percentages, everything. Yeah. They're losing ain't what he doing. Now, I don't know what the defense have been. I think that's a team thing. But the losing ain't because of him.
Right.
Yeah, so I could definitely say that. I like that pick.
All right.
I like, what I was thinking about? I was thinking about Julius Randle. I feel like Julius Randle started the season off good. Oh, okay, I see what you're doing. Yeah. Oh, you make the All-Star game. Oh, y'all on a win streak. Oh, y'all the 4th seed. And I'm like, yeah. I want to say Julius Randle as well as I want to put Julius Randle in top 5 MVP talks. I want to put Julius Randle in top 5 MVP talks. Like, he's consistently carried his team. He's obviously the best player on the team. And he's consistently carried his team to the 4th seed. They're probably going to finish the 4th seed. Home court advantage in the playoffs on the Knicks. We haven't seen that in 15 years.
From the Knicks.
I lied! 20 years! The last time the Knicks, that was 2001, I believe. Remember when? Oh, yeah. Okay, my apologies. But man, so let me go back. 15, 12 years. That's crazy. So, like, to me, I like Julius Randle as the most consistent throughout the year. His points and averages only been trending upward the whole season. He's playing his best basketball at the end of the year. And not to say that his first half of the year was all-star worthy. So, I like Julius Randle.
He's being consistent for it.
Now, anybody else we missing out that we didn't think about, that we ain't giving no love to?
Actually, what Pete? Just scoring-wise. He's being consistent.
Yeah.
He take a drop where he started off with 30 points and now he's at 20 points a game. He's being consistent scoring-wise.
I want to say, I was thinking about a Booker. I like a Booker. Of course, you got to say the Jazz. I think they just consistent as a whole team. I think you don't give them individual awards because they team, so
the Jazz.
So the Jazz. So, like, if you had to pick a player, the Jazz. I wanted to say Kyrie Irving if he didn't skip those games. If he had never skipped those 2 sets of games, like because of personal reasons, definitely would have said Kyrie Irving. I even think he would have been an MVP candidate if he didn't skip those sets of games.
You think he'd never win MVP though?
This would have been his best year. Like, honestly, I'm mad at him because this would have been his best year. You finna average 28 points, your team finished in 1st place, and then 2 of the next 2 stars was injured half the season, you would 100% have won MVP. And because you chose to skip 3 weeks of basketball or 4 weeks of basketball, you're not going to get the MVP. And you know these voters don't like him. So you never, like, Dave ain't gonna be like, alright, you only missed this much game. Dave ain't considering it. And that's what I think is unfair. Dave ain't considering it. But, it is what it is.
I mean, you can't, but instead you can't, I don't think you missed so much game. And that's like now, that's why I feel Embiid might not get it. Because he missed so much games.
Yeah, I think Jokic gonna get it just because Embiid missed the games, LeBron missed the games.
Yeah. So,
and the Jazz is the Jazz.
But that's how I feel.
You have one more question, right?
Yeah, we got one more question before we get into the fan facts. Question 5. Now, this segment is called "This is where your head is at." There's 3 superstars that you think may retire without ever winning a championship ring.
Mobile boys.
Okay. I'll say Melo,
I think that's automatic. I think that's an easy automatic.
Westbrook,
We can talk about that one. I think that's close to automatic too.
and CP3.
I didn't think that's why I think we had a lot to talk about because I think those guys because like you can't really say a lot of other stars because they still young. NBA players move around so much, and that's why I said with Westbrook, I'm still saying it might like even today there was a report that with Westbrook contract over, he might go and go play with LeBron. That's what people are saying. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't see Westbrook being up recent. Like now, if the Lakers pick him up,
and if LeBron go to him and be like, all right, and I feel like LeBron's gonna want a veteran point guard in the latter part of his career.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at a Steph Curry, I'm looking at a Westbrook, I'm looking at a Chris Paul. So what I'm saying is it's hard to really, and Westbrook more so than Chris Paul, but it's hard to really say like, yo, I know these dudes are either Melo probably have 1 more year left in the league. Chris Paul and Westbrook probably have 2 to 3 more years left in the league. Their contract soon over.
I think Westbrook is like I give him 5.
5?
They're on a high
5?
Okay, 3 on a high level, and the other 2 is just be where you
figuring out that
can't
retire. So like I say, so what that reason is, I think Chris Paul and Melo for sure. They're gonna be Hall of Famers, but you just might not get that ring. But Westbrook may have 1 more opportunity to be on another team, and we'll see how that goes. But like you say, the type of player he is, he may want to choose to be one of the mentor roles and go on one of them young teams and just help the young team. So we'll see how that goes. Any other players that might be on the bubble, but you know what I'm saying, we won't call them on this list just yet.
I put him as a star, but not a superstar. Probably DeRozan.
Good one.
Butler, Jimmy Butler.
Good one. DeMarcus Aldridge.
He's every time.
Jimmy Butler?
Yeah, I think.
I know. Jimmy said I think Jimmy still might have some time to go on a team too. But I think that's a good one too because he might just like the Heat, no one leave.
Right.
So that's true. And then the Heat, no one for getting players, so they might get a championship.
Yes.
So
they make that magic.
Right. So they might go and get one of these young great players to come on their team.
How do you feel about Wall?
I don't know if Wall's gonna be Hall of Famer.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think injuries really harped his career. Like
that's crazy.
And then he had the successes in the playoffs with LeBron keep beating him. So that's a good question.
That's crazy, bro.
Is what can Wall do at the remaining part of his career to earn that? And Wall's another dude who I could see going on a team to just be their point guard. You ain't the leading scorer, you ain't the leading nothing, but you the veteran point guard. I could see him doing that too.
But that's what it's costing a lot of players. They can't change their
mindset from being the star. I think. We thought Westbrook couldn't do it, and now Westbrook's showing us he could. I think Wall could do it.
Because remember Melo? That's what really almost killed Melo.
He almost loved the league.
But PG, you heard us say I'm coming off the bench like dog.
So I think Wall could do it, man. I think Wall of a reality of what his career is now. You know, make all the money. Let me play good. Let me help the young players. Like I said, I think Wall's never shown me the attitude that he ain't willing to play for the team and make the team work. You know what I mean? Like he could have been complaining all year about this team.
Yes,
he's doing it, having a good time. Victor Oladipo was there, then he was gone.
Yeah, Houston and Angels.
Yeah, so DeMarcus Cousins was there, then he was gone. But we hear Wall complain the whole time. So I like that attitude. So that attitude tells me that a team might want you.
Like you could have get a Karis LeVert.
And you won't get him. Yeah. But his attitude shows me that he understands. Like 5 years ago, he might have been all over the media, but he changed. So we'll see how that goes.
You think that's why he just shut it down for the season? Like it made a hamstrings off.
Yeah, it makes sense. It don't make sense. He have injury history, 12 games left. We
are nowhere.
Yeah, nowhere close to a play-in tournament. Nothing to play for. Save it up for next year and try to have a great season. You know. Yeah, I don't think I'm missing anybody else. And then if you get Kyle Lowry have a championship now. Dwight Howard have a championship now. So like LeBron getting to its rings now. LeBron getting to its rings.
What if the Nets don't win this year? Would you put Harden there?
I'll still have to see how they look next year and see what team they have next year. Like if all of them still there. I don't know if Harden, Kyrie, and KD will be there.
Because everybody says championship or bust.
Yeah, it's championship or bust, but if they have the same team next year, then it'll still be championship or bust. I think the expectations will get lower, same way with the Clippers last year. But it'll still be like, yo, that's still the Nets, though. And then we can't discredit the fact that they didn't play all year and they're still number 1 seed.
That's crazy.
We can't discredit that. Because they played 9 games together, all 3 of them. They're number 1 seed.
It's 9 or 7.
9. It's 9. I think it's 9.
Something.
I think they catch 2 more before Harden get injured.
It's crazy, yo.
And then they could always match the season up as injuries. They could always if they flame out. If they flame out, even in the first round, if they flame out, they could always say the injuries. We ain't played together. None of that. What you expect. You know what I mean? So I think they luck out with that type of excuse.
Alright.
Ibaka got a ring too.
Wow.
Yeah, but everybody got rings now. I could see Chris Paul going on a championship team at the end of his career, though.
Just to get one.
Just to get one. And he would be influential to it. He'll do a Rondo. He could pull a Rondo for a team. Maybe he might do it for the Suns. I doubt it. But I'm just saying that he could pull a Rondo for a team and just like be that little piece that they need coming off the bench to organize it and win these games.
How much more years he getting a contract for? 2 more. Anybody give it 2 more years?
He's on a 3-year or 2-year deal. I thought he signed a 2-year deal.
I think he signed a 3-year deal with Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Then they traded
he's still on that deal.
Yeah, then they traded him to OKC for a year.
Yeah.
So he been
but he re-signed. But he signed with Phoenix. He on a 2-year.
Oh, he signed with Phoenix.
He signed with Phoenix.
He
on a 2-year.
Alright, so I can see him going.
And then so like after that, and let's say you bring Phoenix to the 2nd round or 3rd round. You do your part. Come back, run it back, see what happens. Then after that, any team can want him again.
Yeah, I guess.
Like you said, LeBron could be like, it's time, buddy. It's time, best friend. It's time, Melo. It's time, Melo. I can see that still happening, bro.
Like, okay, Lakers, y'all don't want to pick him up, I'm going.
Yeah. Where you want to go? Where y'all want to play? Which team want us on? I can see that happening. New York, I like what Randall doing. I like how y'all changing your franchise. Let's go compete with the Nets. I can see that happening. That'll be crazy, though. That'll be crazy. So, what's the time is now before we sign up?
9:26. We got to find him.
Go ahead. This topic was going to be a long one.
All right, let's break this down real quick then. The survey questions. All right. It's like a 2-part survey questions. We got the first one is Melo Ball returning to the Hornets. Is it good for them?
What you had first?
Me?
Yeah.
I pick no.
Why?
Because they don't really need him. Like, I mean, it's a rookie year. You're trying to play for a playoff. Coming this early, like, bro, I pick no.
Alright, so I said yes in a different idea of it, though. I said, like, yo, you want your best player to get playoff experience. You say like, it don't matter if you win or lose, you want your best player to get playoff experience as early as possible.
So, and then what if this injury, like...
on the aspect, I only assuming if he comes back, it's because he's 100% has no risk of re-injury. So if that's even a 1% chance, no.
How okay, from your experience, you feel that he could be 100% from now till then?
Yeah, definitely. Put him on a minutes restriction, see how he's feeling out or whatever. But it was always, that type of injury was always like a 2 to 3 month situation where it was like, it's probably going to be at the end of the season. We were probably thinking that when it happened, they might not make the playoffs. But now they're not in that position. Hey, let's get our rookie in the playoffs. Because he probably would be good right now. Let's say there was a 12 seed and he was 100%. What's the point? But we 8 seed, 7 seed. Let's get our rookie some reps in the playoffs. Who cares if we lose? Our rookie gonna be better. He's gonna be the future of the league. That's why I kind of said yes. What the people said?
All right, the people said, wow. 82% said yes, and 18% says no.
No, I think a lot of it too is the yes is for the fans. The fans want to see him.
Yeah,
it's like, yo.
I guess that's more or less like, long term.
No, I think most of it is the fans though. Like, so even if I say, I give you all the reasons why I say yeah, I think most of it for me is as a fan, I would love to see him in the playoffs. Like, see what he do.
All right. Next question. Should CB3 be considered an MVP candidate?
I put no. My reasoning because like he has two other good players on his team. One great player and another good player on his team, and Booker and Ayton. Mikal Bridges all right. He came there and organized it and did everything the right way and gave them a good mentality, all run the floor, all that good stuff. But without Booker, without Ayton, they still would have been back where they was last year. And I think without CP3, they were still going to make the playoffs this year. Remember last year, they was like on the bubble. They didn't make it because of one game. So I think they still would have made it this year because I think they would have improved regardless. So that's my opinion why I said no. He shouldn't be an MVP candidate. Probably, like when you say MVP candidate, top 3 or top 5? You say
Yeah, candidate. Yeah, that's like Canada on the whole. Like,
I'll still say no. I'll still say no.
I'd say yeah, because I don't think fans would have been that second seed.
Definitely not.
Yeah,
definitely not.
And I feel like he is orchestrated for them to be in that second seed.
How low do you think it would have been?
In the West?
Yeah.
They
still had Ricky Rubio probably.
I feel it'd have been probably 8 or even fighting about
I
it.
think the playing on 6 seed at best.
Yeah.
So I think he upped them a couple of seeds. But
Second seed?
yeah,
bro.
man. No. If
they finish first?
If there's first, and that's like if they finish first, then that's a different story for me. Like, but second seed, like you bubbling second, third seed, and then everybody had injuries too. So like you know what I mean? Nuggets have injuries, Lakers have injuries, Blazers have injuries. So like you did more, y'all just was more healthy. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to give you that. Same thing with the Jazz. Like I giving y'all love, but everybody else was injured.
Nah, they feeling the bug.
Yeah.
Nah, they feeling the bug.
Nah, shout out to them for still holding the first seed.
Fox. Let's see that. Final right now. Remember your question with you at the Ox?
Yeah, I remember.
And then we had the next question. We had, does a championship define Westbrook career?
I want to say he's still going to. So with that said, he's still going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Fox.
But a championship will define it. The question will always be that he couldn't make the right decisions to win a championship. So that will always be the tag on his name. Like Mia is he is one of my favorite NBA players ever. I think I'm at the point where in his career now I can say, he's one of my favorite NBA players ever. But even me, when I'm in arguments 10, 15 years from now, I love to concede when someone be like, but he ain't never win a championship. He used to make bad decisions. I got to concede those points. And I think those bad decisions, his IQ, is probably why he don't have a championship right now. So I think that not winning the championship won't change his Hall of Fame status, won't change his superstar status in the world and icon status in the world, but it will change the arguments when you list him as best players ever. He ain't gonna make that top 20 list. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, without that ring. See how Steph Curry right here, he's having 15 and he ain't gonna make that top 20 list.
I a little iffy on that because even without the ring, he's done some things nobody done. Like triple-double, 4 or 5 years now?
4 out of 5 years, averaging triple.
And he's doing it this year now.
Yeah, so
it's like he's proven himself.
He definitely.
Right? That his career is
validated. He
Right.
validated his career.
Now a championship ring will top it off.
And it depends how you get it. You know?
And that too.
Yeah.
So
it's like a championship didn't do nothing for Gary Payton's career because of how he got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it depends how you get it as well. Whereas with Jason Kidd, championship did a lot for his career because he helped the Dallas Mavericks get that. So it's a difference. So it's how you get it.
A lot of players too don't have, like Reggie Miller. People still talk about Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
Barkley.
And then, but the difference between with Reggie, though,
you say it's a Jordan.
couldn't be Jordan. Westbrook wasn't losing to LeBron. Westbrook was losing to other dudes, and that was the problem. You know what I'm saying?
And then you're gonna say that.
No, that's gotta be real. Like when you look at people like Bradley Beal, Kyle, even though Kyle Lowry got one, Bradley Beal, Kyle Lowry, certain teams have always played the Hawks. Certain teams have always played LeBron.
Yeah.
Alright, we know why you ain't going nowhere. You play one of the best players ever.
So that's like a DeRozan.
DeRozan, DeRozan's a perfect example. Yeah. You went when your teams was really, 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 really good. You went against the best player ever.
5 years.
We can't expect you to, you know what I mean, beat the best player ever. Or at least we know why you ain't beat him. See what I'm saying? So I could give him that. I could give him that. With Westbrook is you lose to so many different people. That's what the hard thing is. You lose to Curry, you did lose to LeBron, you lose to Utah,
Portland.
You don't lose to too much dude. So like that's you. Although I want to blame a Paul George, blame a James Harden, blame a Kevin Durant, you was on the team, Westbrook. So I gotta say it's you. So I think that's the difference between some of these players. So it depends on, like you said, no, he'll always be an icon. But when the argument comes of best players ever, not having a championship, gonna have him low on that list.
All right. Next question. Is Julius Randle a NBA star?
When you say star, what you mean? Like superstar? Like he's
star.
one of them names.
He's
all-star. So to me, he's all-star. So he's one of them names. And then he on the Knicks. How much people in the past 2 weeks? How many people been running on with you with the Knicks?
And Lord, right? But I mean, I don't know how to say if he's a star yet because of one season.
Mm.
Now, if you do it next season, I'm gonna be like, yo, this dude is a star.
I'd even say if he do it in the playoffs. If he have a great playoff first round.
Yeah, because he did this.
Because we get to watch it, and then he have the big games.
Right.
Yes, but I'll definitely still say he's a star because like he's in the biggest market, playing the best basketball right now in the past couple of weeks. Out of all the league, they're playing the best basketball. So his name is out there. National news media is talking about him. They go on interviews with him. Everybody know his name now. So I do agree that next year, if he do it again, shit, he's a superstar. Right. But I think he's done enough this year that he's a known NBA commodity now. Like he's known.
Because I don't want to do that. Because we had a lot of
one year
dudes come out. Oh yeah, they get that big contract and all like he gonna be something. Then he just be like.
And then I try to root for him a little bit more because like you said brought up earlier, the Kobe thing.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like Kobe ain't like Jordan or LeBron where I pick a player but then they turn out to be trash. Mm-hmm. When Kobe say, wait, this next do it, they normally really, really, really good. Westbrook, Tatum, Kyrie. And he said that about Randle a few years ago. Randle just developing what Kobe did say. Yeah. So I always believe in what Kobe say. Maybe that's just my blind trust in Kobe. But I believe in Kobe say.
And system too. The system they play
in the Knicks?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I do believe Coach Lee has 100%. What you got in from the Knicks? Tips. 100% tips. Coach Lee, 100%. Like, which team could you give it to? Even the Jazz, you can say, Jazz first. But the Knicks had no expectations of being this high. That's the difference.
Tips.
Jazz was good last year. Jazz made the second round last year.
Boy.
Yeah.
He probably got.
Who else you look at? I mean, maybe Steve Nash. All the injuries, and they still finish first.
But they still have 3 great players. No matter what, I can't.
All the injuries, though.
Come on, and then they got. It was like they had 2 or they had
1 or 2. They always had 1 at least.
Right. So,
but all the injuries. I think that I see. That's another thing that I want to argue. Can you put that on top of next week? Let's stop talking about that. The Nash thing, the coach of the year. Let's talk coach of the year. Let's talk coach of the year next week. All right. Like there's a lot of good candidates.
Yeah. That's the thing on that.
You got the Jazz, you got the Suns, you got the Sixers. Because remember the Sixers never finished as high.
Dog bro.
Nets. You know what I'm saying? I think we sleep on the Bucks, but the Bucks been consistently third all year. So it's like.
And they've been inconsistent all year.
They've been inconsistent, but like you could say inconsistent, but they've been top half of their conference all year. So like, I think it's a lot of teams to talk about.
Yeah.
Grizzlies, because like no one expected them to be this good. Grizzlies playing really really good basketball.
Grizzlies playing.
Their second best player was injured most of the year. Remember that?
So
JJJ was injured most of the year.
Let me ask you this, right? What about Monty Williams from the Suns?
That's right. I call the Suns. All right. He might be one of the leading candidates. Yeah.
Not just because of Chris Paul.
He might be one of the leading candidates.
All right. And the NRR fan survey. Now it falls up to all the questions we asked earlier. We got all them back into it. Which player had the most impact on its team this season? We had CP3 with the Suns, Westbrook with the Wizards, Randall with the Knicks, Melo with the Hornets.
Who you pick?
I actually went with CP3
Why?
because like they say I can see it, bro. Like even though the injury is, he still kept them like they was playing good in the bubble, going 8-0. But I think like with that point guard leadership, he actually showing them like, hey, this is how you do it, and you can see the growth. Yeah, you see the growth in Booker. Booker ain't saying he had to score 37 points every game now. He can drop 25, 27, and they still win it. So
I ain't doing bad interviews no more. Aiden don't do stupidness no
right.
more.
So, right.
All of that matters. So like I agree, all of that matters.
Yeah.
Aiden don't do foolishness no more. Before you list off who everybody picked, I went with Randall for the same reasons we were saying earlier, like just consistent all year. And he pulled the number one franchise in the league back into relevance.
Yeah.
And so I gotta say like that impact alone. I have friends who always been Knicks fans and they finally can talk to me about basketball. And that's fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't realize I thought Laker fans was wild. Knicks fans are crazy, bro. So like
Shout out Joe Boy.
Shout out Joe Boy. Knicks fans are crazy, bro. So like the playoffs will be going really exciting to watch them play.
So I hope they make some noise in playoffs. I really hope so.
What the fans say?
The fans, okay. Westbrook was fourth with 11%. Then we had Melo from the Hornets.
I can see that.
He was third.
He made no eye like that because like, he made me watch the Hornets.
Yeah, he made
like I would have not watched any Hornets games if he wasn't there.
Right. Then we have Randall with the Knicks with 24%. Then we had CP3 with the Suns with 47%. So it's kind of not, I'd say kind of even though because
but the CP3 was always the most impactful one.
Yeah.
Like I think generally from watching basketball, watching media, talking about basketball, Suns being number 2, I think CP3 is the most likely choice, and you pick something else, you had to have a really, really good reason for picking them. You know what I'm saying? Like I think with the Melo, with the previous question too, like with the Melo, just the fandom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everybody just want to see him.
Yeah, he's such a polarizing player. Like I say polarizing normally mean positive and negative. No, that boy is all positive. He's just all positive, and I think it's just fun to watch him. So that kind of skews your injury. Nah, play him. That skews your. Is he the best player on the team? Yeah, he's the best player.
Let's play him.
Yeah, let's play him. So I think that I want him to be all-star. I want him to bring him to the skill competition. Like so, I think that it's a lot of fandom with him. You know what I'm saying? But I think CP3 probably did have the most and best impact on the situation. So right before we go, what I want to talk about, or if you want to hold it, let me know right before. Nets and Knicks. That's a possible second round matchup. That would be the Nets. The Nets would play the Hawks. If everything stopped today, Knicks would play Hawks first round. Nets would play, obviously, the play-in tournament, but the 8th seed right now is, I believe, the Raptors. So I pull up real quick. So the 8th seed.
Really now, computer?
Grammarly. I love me some Grammarly. They have the best commercial.
I don't know this.
No, but it's like a writing program. I mean, not the show. No advertisements for Grammarly. But that's like a writing program to help you get your stuff together. The Hornets. So the Hornets. So the Nets will play the Hornets. Obviously, we expect the Nets to win. Then you have the Knicks play the Hawks. I would expect the Knicks to win. All New York second round.
That'd be a subway playoff.
Imagine how exciting that would be.
New York would be wild on the whole.
That would be New York would be wild. I think everywhere would be wild because like so many. Because you remember like New York area around, and a lot of basketball teams around the area. So like you wouldn't be no Charlotte fan. Like if I go have to pick a team and my city don't have a team, I pick in New York. So I just feel like. That is going to be a hot, crazy series. Of course, we still expect the Nets to win, but watching Randall go against the vets, that would be awesome.
Just for the love of New York, that would be crazy.
The Mecca. Them games in Madison. And then, most players play their best basketball in Madison Square Garden.
Oh, that'd be crazy, bro.
Kyrie from New York. So you're going to have a great series going against New York.
Yeah, bro. I like that.
I love it. I think so. what I think is so special, and right before we close out, I think we have the potential of seeing Kevin Durant against Westbrook in the first round. That's going to be amazing.
It'll be these two teams playing.
Them two teams. So Pacers, right now we have 7, 8, 9, and 10 would be Heat, Hornets, Pacers, Wizards. Heat and Hornets would play for the 7th seed. Whoever win would be 7th seed. Indiana and Washington would play. To whoever win would play to whoever loses of them two. And then whoever win, that could be the 8th seed. I would love to see. I want to see Melo in the 8, but I want to see Westbrook play Durant too in the playoffs. So imagine Westbrook playing his old teammates in the playoffs. That would be so exciting. So it's hard, but I think it's play-in tournament. What did we have this discussion whether the play-in tournament was good or bad?
Yeah, last week.
What did we generally say?
We said it was good.
All right,
and it's good. It was good for. It's good. I think it's good for the league. I don't think it's good for the players because
yes, I think that's what you said.
Yeah, because you're trying to stop them from playing so much games, and then you got to play this game, and you got to come back and play another game. So, but
I've had to change your heart. Like I probably said it was good last week, but this week that's awesome. That's the best.
You say you're
no. I'm 100% saying that's the best. So it's like it is so much fun looking towards the matchups right now. With 11, 10 more games left. I'm looking at the scoreboard every morning. I'm seeing who playing who all week. I'm seeing how much games my team got left, who all the Wizards got to play. They could beat the Lakers. LeBron don't come back till Wednesday. They play them on Tuesday. That's so much fun.
But the sad thing, is first and second don't even know they playing.
I think that's kind of sad, but as well as you are the overwhelming favorites to win that first round matchup. So it is kind of wrong that you don't know who you play until the day before. But it is kind of, especially the first seed, they don't know who they play until the day before. But you are like a 90% favorite to win. You really shouldn't lose the series.
And like you say, Lakers and Denver, they could play,
Yeah.
I don't see, and
I think it's a hard matchup. I think the Lakers still win if LeBron healthy, but that's a hard matchup
for first round.
Yeah, but imagine the Lakers. That would be worse if they fall in the 6th seed.
Then they'll have the Clippers.
And I feel like Dallas will feel more confident playing the Clippers because of what they did last year. Lakers ain't gonna feel confident playing the Clippers.
So check this out. You might play like this. Lakers Clippers first round. You get that just like how almost like the next second round. So you get the LA battle.
All LA.
And then the next round you get the New York battle. That's East Coast, West Coast. That'll be all.
NBA.
Basketball gods give it to me.
NBA winning. The NBA was winning. This is where we start talking about if they cheating. So we start asking the question if they cheating. Because boy, the NBA is winning right now.
Come on.
They're gonna have some great. They're gonna have some great playoff play. The playing game is gonna be awesome because we're gonna get to see game winners. We're gonna get to see niggas fighting for their playoff berth.
Right, because you want to fight.
And then when we get to actual playoffs, the matchups are gonna be amazing from the first round. There's no way that you're not gonna get good matchups. Even in the 1 and 8 seeds, we could possibly get Portland in the 8th seed. John Morant in the 8th seed. Steph Curry. And the only person I don't want to see is the Spurs, honestly.
But we might get Dallas because we look at it.
No, but I'm saying the only person on this whole list I don't want to see from Kings up. The only team I don't want to see is the Spurs because I want to see Fox and Buddy in the play-in. So I say I 100% want to see Zion in the play-in. So I'm saying
I think the league wants to see Zion.
The league needs to have a Zion in the play-in. Watch DeRozan get injured. Watch DeRozan get injured. If the NBA fake DeRozan finna get injured.
But they 4 games over the 10th spot.
That's a far way to be.
And Golden State,
that's a far way to be.
That's why that next week game's gonna be tough.
Yeah. And that's why I say that could be a rough game to win.
Yeah, Golden State, rough game to win, bro. San Antonio, the 3-game winning streak. We probably gonna break that today. And like a lot of teams. Remember, like a couple weeks, 7 games, 8 games, like teams ain't winning like that consistently no more.
No. Because everybody fighting, and that's what I love about the league. 3 years ago, you wouldn't have seen this.
No.
There would have been 4 teams we know was going to win, and everybody else garbage.
Even the East.
Yeah.
The East is like, all right, LeBron.
Now, we don't know. Like, Gerard could say Lakers in 5 as much as we want, but we don't know. I could go around and say, "Wait, how could someone beat the Nets?" I don't know.
Yeah, just like they say Philly. You can
Yeah,
do it.
Philly Bucks could do it. Like you say, first round team might shock them.
I mean, even the Heat, like we can come out of the blazing.
Yeah, boys, y'all come in the second round, see the Nets, y'all might shock them.
Yeah. Like Heat, well, I guess we got that defense.
Then health, and then health,
Yeah.
and then health. We don't know about health. You know what I'm saying? I can see Harden not playing first round.
He had a hamstring injury. Right?
Yeah, I can see him not playing first round.
Hamstring's so funny because you feel like you good, you gonna make that first
Right,
move.
I could see players skipping games within the series. Like, I remember how Kristaps Porzingis was last year.
Yeah,
I could skip game 2 and come back for game 3. Like, we could see that happening.
Yeah.
So, like, this is so up in the air. It's crazy.
It's not.
It's crazy. What time it is? Let's get time to sign out before I get too late.
Right.
Hey guys, I appreciate everybody that tuned in with us for this Not a Fact Basketball Talk, April 28th. I feel like we had a good conversation. We was running up some teams. It feels like we winding down.
Yeah.
It's getting more exciting. It started getting more exciting. Like I was ready to sit down and watch games all night and just rip through the games. But we appreciate you guys being here. We have 2 more weeks. The finale in 2 weeks, man. We planning something big, so everybody, we tell your friends, share the broadcast. Just because it's over don't mean you can't share the broadcast. Still share the broadcast. Make sure to put the likes up. If you're watching on the playback, we appreciate you. Snuff and Coach appreciate you. We're looking forward to next week. We're gonna have some great conversations. We're gonna have one more survey. I think we're gonna do survey last week as well.
Yeah, we go.
Yeah. So we got another survey or whatever. As well as guys, throughout the week, if you got something to say, if you want to share something, man, tell us something so we can put it out there on the broadcast and talk about it as well. But we appreciate you guys. I think we might be going with one more guest for the season next week. Don't know who that is. It's going to be a surprise to you guys. Might be a surprise to us. We're going to be a surprise to you guys. I'll be looking forward to it. So again, this is our Fact Basketball Talk. Snuff, Coach.
We out.
We out. Be easy.
Fata beats on the track.
Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today.